Good evening, everybody, and thank you so much for being here. And it's good to be back streaming again here on Tea and Telly. Thank you so much. I'm still a little quiet. I hope you guys can hear me. I'm still kind of sort of saving my voice a little bit. Thumbs up if you can hear just fine without me having to yell. So, before I get started, I almost forgot to put on my Rakasu. Very important part. I like this is handmade, by the way. And if you see each stitch is done, each tiny stitch, tiny stitches. I don't know if you can see it. All done by hand. Takes hours. These are done by hand as well. And you meditate during the time that you're doing it. I might have to take off my headset for a second, so bear with me. I don't need my headset. Who am I going to listen to? It's just me. Gosh. Okay, guys. So I promised you that I was going to help you with some learning how to sit. And so that's what I'm going to review today. Wasn't that an awesome intro? It's so nice and relaxing. Actually, it feels weird not having these. My fancy earpieces. If you're wondering what I'm using, they're pretty awesome. Used by DJs around the world. What was I going to do here? Here we go. There we go. I need something to set the mood a little bit. And I really liked the intro music, so I wanted to add that on here so while I'm talking. Anyway, so I went over a few times benefits of meditation, and for a lot of people, they kind of battle with it. They're constantly saying things like, I cannot meditate because I cannot slow my mind down. I can't stop the process of thinking all the time. And that is actually okay, because there is what you don't understand is that by you realizing that your mind is constantly moving and constantly thinking, that is being aware. That is part of meditation. So what I want to do is go over how to meditate so we can start out the basics of it, and then as I go, I'll kind of get into some more things about it. But I wanted to show you something because I'm going to go into a couple positions. My main thing is today is to go over position and breathing, because those are the most important parts of meditation. So I wanted to show you something I found, so you don't just take my word for it. So I want to hang on one second. This is it. Okay. So I wanted to show you, this is from the Mayo Clinic. And all of us, every time I have an itch somewhere and I have my ankles twisted, whatever, we all go and we look at the medical stuff. What can I find about it? How do you treat it? Believe it or not, the Mayo Clinic actually has something about meditation and the benefits of it. So I wanted to give that to you as well, so that you aren't just thinking it's only just to kind of calm down and relieve stress, because it's important to understand what you're doing. So the Mayo Clinic has this information so gaining a perspective on stressful situations. It just means that because we're going to stress. That's a part of life. And so it's not going to be a magic pill that takes it all away. You're still going to, but it's going to give you a different perspective. How am I going to deal with this stress? What am I going to do? Building skills to manage your stress increases self-awareness, focuses on the present, reduces negative emotions, increases imagination, creativity. And this is where I talked about, this is great for artists, for people writing books, for trying to accomplish some skill in their job. It increases patience and tolerance. That is true. I was already a patient person before, but sometimes life events took place that made me not as patient. So sitting helps. And do I get upset? Absolutely. I think there's one person here who is probably the only one who knows how upset I can get. So it happens. And it helps rest your heart rate, your blood pressure, and improves your sleep quality. Absolutely. The other things it does is that even this shows that meditation may help people manage these symptoms, which is what I was saying with my fibromyalgia and my migraines. I have to say, I don't have migraines as often. I do get headaches, yes, but it actually helps anxiety, asthma, cancer, chronic pain, depression, heart disease, irritable bowel syndrome, and many people have that, sleeping problems, tension, headaches, things like that. So these are the things that it can help, because you are being more in tune with your body. You're kind of helping repair the body. I think the body has a natural way of just knowing what needs to be done. When a person goes into a coma after a traumatic event, they're just lying there. They're not doing anything. The body is healing itself. And that's why they can come out of that coma. They can be better than what they were, or just better. But if you try to start pushing your body before it heals, then it just makes matters worse. The Mayo Clinic does list different types of meditations, as there are various kinds of meditation. Mindfulness meditation is the one to go with. They do have Tai Chi, and Tai Chi is something that I'm going to get into, because it is a nice martial arts training, but it also helps you. It is also some form of meditation as well. So I wanted to share that with you so that you could see that it's a known fact that it is good for you. And don't think I forgot about you guys in here. Sorry about that. I want to say hi to Miss Lisa. Thank you for being here. PJ, of course, thank you for helping me. And TJ, thank you. And Rolando, thank you for being here. The Vagrancy Horror, always good to see you. I'm gonna have to catch up with you and see how you're coming along. Mads, good to have you here. Mama Bear, always good to have you guys here. And let me see, who else do I have in here? Deej, love to have you here as well. Mr. Deej, Miss Rapunzel, lovely to have you here. G-Force even. And good to have you here. You winced. Thank you for coming by. First time watcher. I was going to say you're very new here. This is a little bit different from my Friday shows, but I kind of needed it right now. So thank you so much for coming here. And Captain Phantom Nerd, thank you for being here. So good to see you. Boya Zapatos, hey, good to have you here. Always lovely to see you all here. Let me see what you're saying. Teach myself from teach one's a kid. Yeah, absolutely. It's nice that you started out younger. I think because once you start getting into the practice of it, it just becomes a regular part of your life, like getting up and brushing your teeth and things like that. It's just something you have to do. Practicing patience. Yes, it massively reduces the anxiety symptoms and stops the migraine from getting worse. Absolutely. It does that. That's why I did it. And when I was a kid, I had thought about how long have I been practicing. And I remember when I was a kid, and when your mama sends you to the room for being naughty, and you're just there, sitting there, I would sit there and breathe and meditate. And I did it because I was scared of the dark. So I didn't want to focus on the darkness because it made me more and more anxious. And I actually did that. And I didn't know it was meditation. So it just kind of, your body naturally goes to that stay. Andy Masterson, good to see you. Thanks for showing up here. Thanks for having you. And I'm just catching up here and Miss Riggs, hey, good to see you. How did I learn? It wasn't until later on and I started researching more about it. When I started trying to find natural ways to relieve migraines and pain, that I came across meditation and then went into more of the studying. I've been studying for 10 years, which is what's taken me long to get this. And by the way, folks, I'm going to be getting my brown here in a couple weeks, actually. And it's another ceremony, the next level of that. So it's quite an honor. And next time you see me, I'll have a brown one on. Let me see what we have going on here. And Miss Riggs, yeah, she is a great friend and good to have you here. And then I'm sure that you need meditation quite often yourself. What is this called that I'm wearing? Is that what you're asking? Yes. Okay, this thing. This thing is called a Rakasu. And these are also hand stitched, and they have a reason, a meaning, and they got cat hair on it. Sorry, but it has my all my stamps in the back with where my teacher signed it, and it shows my name. Shinzai means heartwood, and he told me to be a blessing to the universe. So there you go. So let me get on to the next level of the meditation here. I wanted to show you a few positions. That's what I'm going to get to next in meditation. Because there are positions that I'm still working on getting into, and they're not easy. So it's going to take you a little bit of practice. But let me share that with you. 1 second. Okay. So sitting, anytime I always tell somebody when they say, what are you doing? You know, can you join me on my stream? And I'm like, I'm sorry, I have to teach. I have to sit. And they sit. What do you mean sit? Well, it's actually called Zazen. So Zazen, and I think I saw somebody pop in the room here, and it was the lovely Kalinda. Hey, how you doing? The easiest first. Yes. Thank you for saying that. I hope I'm a blessing. You're gonna make me cry. Stop that. Okay. Yes, I'm emotional. So it's called Zazen. That's what sitting is. And there's a few postures. The Zazen position. Zazen. So the Zazen position. There's a Burmese position. This one is where I'm kind of at right now, because it takes some flexibility to get to the rest of them. So now you don't have to do these, but these are the traditional ones, and there's a reason for that. It's not to look fancy. It's not to show everybody, hey, look what I can do. There's a reason for these positions. So this is the Burmese position. This one here is a half lotus position, where you have one leg under and one leg over, right over that part. I think I can do that, but not for long periods of time. This is the full lotus, and that's the one where I'm like, okay then. So as you could see, there's the cushion that I'm always referring to. Those are handmade also, by the way, and the mat, which is also handmade. But you see how you're not sitting directly on it. There is a tilt. Your cushion, you're tilting in your cushion there, so that way you have a nice aligned back, and there's no stress on there, on that back. But that is the full lotus position. And then this one is, it looks like he's not using anything on here, because there's a block that you can sit on to give you support, and or a cushion. I use this position as well, but I turn my cushion the other way around, so that I can sit on it that way, and that way I'm leaning forward as well. And there's a chair position, and to be honest, this is what I'm doing at the moment because of my knee injury. So you can sit in a chair. You can sit basically the same way and just make sure your feet are on the ground. So those are the different kind of positions that you want to try to get into. And the reason for those is because meditation is a very physical thing to do. It's mental and physical, because you're connecting everything together. And so the reasons for these particular ones are helpful, so that you can find, so that you're not so focused on your other things, like it, so that you're not kind of like, well, this is uncomfortable. You know, like sometimes when you're sitting on the floor and you start out in one position and you're talking and you're having a good old time, and then all of a sudden you have to switch. Well, this is kind of a way to stabilize yourself, to help your breathing, the flow of your breathing and everything. I want you to take note of one thing here. I want you to take note at the position of their head and where it's at. Do you see how it's not looking directly down and it's not looking directly up? And this is also what helps your airflow. All of them have that. Hers is kind of not all the way there yet, but I think this guy pretty much has that position. So when you're sitting there in that position, I want you to imagine you have an apple under your chin. That's the furthest that your head is going to go, so that way you have your neck is nice and straight, and the air flows through better for you. You don't want to be too far down. You want to be too far because it'll cause a kink in your neck. So the purpose is to be as comfortable as possible so that you don't have to find a lot of stress. Listen to your body. If you find a position is uncomfortable, don't sit through it. Move, change. It's okay. One other thing you can do before you start sitting. Oh yeah, the jaw slack as well. Yeah, and it makes a huge difference. Like there's little things that you do to kind of help for the breathing, because obviously breathing is super important. And you're asking about, what about laying down? Oh, sorry, I forgot. Yeah, thank you, PJ. I'm sorry. Okay. Yes, you can. It's okay if that's what you have to do, but I would kind of make sure you're a little bit elevated, because when you're laying down, what's it called? Is it the larynx? It's going to relax too much, and you're going to end up cutting off the breathing. So you want to kind of elevate yourself a little bit so there's a flow there. So thank you for that, PJ. And as you notice in the visuals, that some of them have their eyes open and closed, because a lot of people automatically assume, close your eyes. I want you to do whatever works best for you. So I close my eyes, and it's because my cats do funny stuff sometimes, and it makes me laugh at night. And I'm like, oh my gosh. But you can leave them half open, just part way, looking directly towards the ground. So, but it's up to you, because if you don't want to be distracted with what's around you, you can close them, or you can keep them half open. So you're basically going to be doing this, just down and straight, and leave that open. So that way you have all your breathing. Oh my gosh. I was like, why can't I see anything? So, there we go. And okay, let me get to, now that we've got how to sit, I'm going to hang on one second. I did that one already. And those are the positions on that. I had one more. Oh, here we go. It's on the other side. Now, if you if somebody were to come into Mazendo and they're wanting to sit and it's their first time, usually you grab their attention by saying, sit down, shut up, and pay attention. It sounds harsh, but it's actually a way to tell them that this is the time now to kind of basically shut up, to just leave everything there for just a moment, because what you're doing for meditation is that you're opening yourself, so that your mind is stable and that you're more awake. You know what's funny is, I can't believe I'm going to bring up the Orville through this, but in watching the Orville, they use the word enlightenment a lot, enlightened and awake. And it makes me smile, because a lot of the time it is exactly that. There is one episode, and I think it was the one before this last one. No, wait, it's the one where they were dating, where Isaac got awake, and he went on the date with the doctor, Um, that is kind of like, that is what you're doing when you meditate. You're like Isaac, full of data, downloading it in your head, uploading it, downloading, uploading, and you're not realizing what's happening around you, the feelings of others, um, what's going on. It's just you processing all this stuff. And then all of a sudden he becomes awake. And all of a sudden he's like, holy moly, I feel amazing. I'm awake. I'm enlightened. I am now understanding what you've been trying to tell me this whole time. Now I understand feelings and what I'm feeling and processing it. So it's basically the same thing as in the meditation. I thought that was very fitting. I was like, wow. And I think I have a couple questions here. Thank you for the questions. Problem quieting your mind like a squirrel. You're absolutely right, Janie. The thing of it is, and that's what I was saying before, is that I don't want you to worry about that because, like I said, that's making yourself aware that that's what's happening. It's going to come in time. See, the problem is that our bodies are constantly wanting to move, constantly wanting to do some things. And if you're sitting still for just a moment, it feels awkward. So you're going to be fighting it. You're going to be battling with your body. This whole time, you're going to be sitting there going, oh my God, I just want to move. I just want to move. The goal is to keep yourself completely still. And it's okay to work on one thing at a time. It took me a long time. So I'm going to teach you a little trick on how to get your mind more focused on breathing and posture. So when I started out training, I had to use what I call my training wheels. And that was, oh my goodness, sorry, my hair's all flying away. That's funny. Okay, it's curly and I didn't put it down. Anyway, whatever. So I'm going to tell you, I use training wheels. My training wheels consisted of what you do is count. And it's only 1 to 10, and I guarantee you, you're not going to get to 10. I guarantee you that. But that's okay. So what you're going to do is this. When you're sitting there, you're going to pay attention. And I'll get to the breath in a second. I want to teach you the counting. You're going to just start counting 1, 2, 3, 4. And when your mind starts going off in other directions, oh my God, I forgot to take the clothes out the dryer. You know, my boss sent me an email and I didn't even get to it. You're going to stop. Guess what? You just realized that you did that, and that's okay. What you're going to do is, you know what? I will get to that email when I get to it. Just let it pass. Don't focus on it because these things are going to happen. So just don't focus on it. Let it pass. And then start over. 1, 2, 3. The furthest I ever got was 6. and I had to do it over and over until now. As soon as I get into the meditation, I right away go right into it. I don't even use counting anymore. But it took a long time. It took a lot of practice to do that. So it's okay. It's fine if you do that. But just remember to let it pass. Do not continue to focus on it. Because what you're doing is making yourself aware of those questions. Remember how I told you that you're going to start kind of being able to figure out how to work around your problems? Well, this is what your mind is processing. So don't focus. You know that earlier today I was thinking, I was trying to find this song that I really liked and I couldn't remember who did it. I couldn't remember the name of it, but I remembered kind of sort of how it went. And I was trying and I couldn't even focus. I'm like, you know what? This is going to drive me nuts. So what do? You just stop thinking about it. I went off and did other things. And all of a sudden later I sat down and I was like, oh my God, that's it. Because you're trying too hard. So you don't focus on it anymore. You just go on with something else. And it'll just come to you. So don't think about thinking. Yes, that's fun. Yeah, it is hard. So you're basically sitting there thinking of nothing. But it's going to happen. So don't beat yourself up over it. Don't punish yourself and give up because, oh my gosh, I can't do this. You're doing it. So don't give up. Just continue it and just let it pass. Agent Pepsi, good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, so where was I? I was going to mention something about because I'm trying to answer some questions. How do I find practice with others? It's always good to have someone else there. Did you cut my snorting? I didn't think I was going to snort on my meditation stream. Thank you. To have somebody there with you in meditation. If you're doing it by yourself, you're going to want a timer. I'm going to suggest that you do this. You start out with 5 minutes. 5 minutes does not seem like a long time. I could do 5 minutes right now here with you, and you'd be like, wow, that was 5 minutes. Yes, because that's what I was talking about. When your body is battling this struggle of being still, it's going to feel exhausting. You're going to be like, oh my gosh. So I'm going to do a little practice here with you about that. PDY, thank you so much for being here. Good to have you. Thanks for popping in. Okay. So I want you to go ahead and just do this with me. Wherever you are, you don't have to get all in a fancy position. Sit there for a second and don't move at all. Don't move. Just sit there and feel what your body's trying to do. Do you have an itch? Do you need to shift? Do you need to put your leg up? Do you need, your body is trying to tell you, I kind of don't like this. What are you doing? Why am I just sitting here? Because like I was saying, all the time, we're constantly moving, constantly doing something, even talking. I have on my hands. So you're going to fight it. So it's okay if you can't particularly sit there completely still. It's okay if your mind starts wandering. But the more practice you do, the better it gets. Now, I do want to get into a certain hand position because this is important when you're sitting. When you're sitting, and I think I'm going to see if I have that up here to pull up. 1 second. Your hands are going to be one second. Hand position. There we go. I want to show this one right here. Let me share that with you. Oh, wrong one. Sorry. Hang on. Share screen here. Oh, it's hot in here. Okay, here it is. All right. Do you see how the hands are right here? There's a reason for this too. And what this does, it's kind of like your sensor. It's kind of like your, am I alert or am I not alert? So do you see how one hand is on top of the other one? You're going to place your dominant hand. So this person is right-handed. They're positioning their dominant hand on top of the weaker hand. And that way, it's uncomfortable. Trust me, it's uncomfortable. The thumbs are going to be very lightly touching, just lightly. If your thumbs start, I'm gonna have to, if your thumbs start to collapse or fade away, then your mind is drifting off. Go back and start over with your counting. It means you're not there. If you're doing this and they're getting pushed up, it's because you're too tense. You need to calm yourself down and get back into that position. That's why we have it down here in the horror section where we're breathing. So this is what you're going to be doing with your hands to monitor yourself. You should barely feel them touching. And if you don't, like I said, relax. And when you begin, in order to make sure you're kind of relaxed, anytime I start, I look like I'm getting ready to duel with somebody because I'm like, all right, man, let's do this. I want to loosen up a little bit and stuff. And then you start out putting your shoulders up and just letting them fall. Where they fall, that's the natural position. So just let them fall and put your hands down in front of you in that position. Pay attention to your breathing and don't breathe in a particular way. Don't sit there and go, you're just going to breathe naturally, but I want you to make yourself aware of your breath. And singers are always trained to breathe from the diaphragm. You're going to try to do that as much as possible where most of your air is flowing. Okay, so you're going to be breathing from your diaphragm. So right now, I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and I'm going to have us, because somebody asked me this last time, could we sit for like a second? And I wasn't going to because I was like, you're going to sit there staring at me sitting. But that's all right, because I'm just going to imagine you're doing it at your place too. So I want you to practice that with me for just a second. I'm going to talk you through it, but I want you to kind of do that. So you're going to pick up your shoulders and let them fall. And put your hand down in that position with the hand position down here. Kind of put it by your diaphragm so you can feel your breath. And go ahead and put your head in that position. Remember, you've got an apple under here, so you don't want to go too far. And when you start, I always take my deep breath to let in all the air and let it out naturally. And go ahead and do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you lose track, just start over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh my God, my cat is driving me nuts over here. Okay. It's all right. It's all right. Cats are going to be cats. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. You see, you don't get very far. Stuff happens in that time frame. Do you have to say Om? No, you don't. Trust me, it's not. You don't want to do anything on that. You're focusing on your breath, your posture, and your breath. What you're trying to do is connect yourself together. And what you're doing is you don't want your mind to wander off into la la land, but you don't want to pay attention to those thoughts. What you're doing is right now, and what could help is that like pay attention to the noises you hear around you. As you're sitting there, you're like, okay, I can hear my cat walking. I can hear the birds outside singing. I can hear the cars driving by. I can hear that. So you're not focusing on a particular issue or problem. What you're doing is making yourself aware of this situation right now. Right now, the birds are singing. Right now, I'm sitting here trying to be still and I can't. So you're not worrying about the past because it already happened. The future hasn't happened yet. You're focusing on this moment right now and your breath and your posture. After a while, you're going to start becoming more flexible. Your thighs are going to be made of steel, and you'll be able to do these positions to sit in them more, and you'll find that they're really going to be helpful. And your cat's finally left you alone. Yes. And so, okay, so now we've got the breath, we've got the positions, and how your hands should be. And so, again, do not worry that it's not perfect. I still don't do that. I used to get upset after meditation. I'd be like, oh my God, what's wrong with me? Why can't I concentrate? Why can't I figure this out? It wasn't until the teacher told me, you know what, that's perfect. That's good that you're understanding that. You just made yourself aware of it. So I want you to first, in this session, basically just understand how to sit first, what to do during the process of you trying to battle through this before we can move on to other things about wellness and how this is going to help you in the long run. So I'm hoping that this will at least get you started. And I want to check to see if there's any questions about your sitting. Always start rocking. You know what, Rapunzel? I'm a rocker too. I always annoy people because when I'm standing talking to you, if we were standing in front of each other, I'd be doing this. And in my chair, constantly rocking. I stopped doing that. But I don't do it as much. But I'm a rocker too. I don't know where that comes from or why, but it comforts me. And it just makes me feel balanced for some reason. But so sitting was a big struggle because I'm a rocker. And that's why I wanted to stress to you that to not think of it as a bad meditation if you cannot sit still, because it's going to happen. It will eventually start to die off. Like, as if you can tell, recently in my streams, I haven't been rocking as much. So you can actually get better at it. And I think it's because I'm increasing my time. So when you're going to start out with just 5 minutes for the first week. And I don't expect everybody to do every single day. Now, I haven't missed a day of sitting in a while like I do all the time. But again, it becomes a habit. And you'll notice when you don't do it. But you start out with 5 minutes just to get used to it, just to kind of help you. If anybody tries to start out with half an hour right away, it's not going to work. You're going to give up. So you want to start out slowly and 5 minutes. The next week, if 5 minutes are comfortable, move up to 10. And if you can find some kind of, oh, hey, Mekany, how are you? Thank you so much for being here. The Time Prophet, thank you for joining me. I haven't seen my stream for a while. I thought maybe you kind of, didn't want to be here, but thank you. Cat Zen first. Yeah, it's actually it's funny, but it's also very valid. One of the things that happens in sitting is when I sit, the cats naturally gravitate. You know how they can sit still forever. They don't move. They don't care. And when I sit, at first they were like, what the heck is she doing? Why is she just sitting there? Hey, mom, 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 what are you doing? What are you doing? But now they're so used to it that they come and they sit with you. But yes, the cats are very zen. They love sitting. So yes, it is just perfect. It is kind of fun to have them there. You forgot what you're supposed to be doing with your eyes. And and don't have to worry about supposed to use. It is what you feel comfortable doing. So remember, the eyes can be slightly opened. They can be open if you want, or they can be slightly opened, or they can be completely closed. It is completely up to you. If you know you're really, really tired and that you'll fall asleep doing it, then do it partially opened. So that way you're kind of relaxing, but making yourself aware that, hey, I'm not here for a nap. And if you fall asleep during meditation, it's okay. That's perfectly fine. If you were in my class in front of me, I would get the stick out. And that sounds funny, but it's true. I think I've shown you the stick before. What that is to stimulate you, to wake you back up. It's not meant to as a punishment. Students actually ask to have the part of their neck here tapped on. It helps stimulate you, and you're like, okay. So if you feel yourself getting tired, you have that, but you don't have anybody do that for you. So in the meantime, just keep your eyes partially open so that you're not falling asleep if you want to do that. Let me see. Can't breathe at the moment. One thing about the breathing is, and the reason I don't want you to focus on it too much is because sometimes when you're sitting there trying to pay attention to your breath, I found myself concentrating so much on my breath that I would forget how to breathe. And that sounds weird, but I'm sitting there going, okay, I'm out of breath now because I was concentrating. There's no special way. It's not wrong or whatever or perfect or it's supposed to be. Just breathe normally. But what I do is if I need to, like I said, I start out with a deep breath first. I just go, and then you just go into a normal breath, nothing fancy. But what you can do when you're counting to help yourself focus more is you can just breathe in, breathe out. 1, 2, 3, but don't do it for too long because you'll get lightheaded. It's just to help you remember to breathe and remembering to breathe and to kind of get yourself into not wondering about certain things. And right now, we absolutely need this for the sake of our mental health, our physical health. And I am incredibly concerned about everything going on out there right now, how it's hurting people, how it's affecting people, and how quick we've become to anger. Is anger a thing? Absolutely, it is a thing. Your feelings are completely valid. Your feelings are there as part of being human, who you are. You're going to feel happy. You're going to feel sad. You're going to feel angry and anxious and all those other things. But it's what you do with those actions that make a difference. And I wanted very much to do this stream on Tuesdays because I wanted people to take a moment to slow down, to make yourself aware of what's going on around you, to not cause stress on your mind and your heart and your families and your pets. Pets are affected too by your stress. They can feel when you're angry or upset. Have you ever had your pet come up to you when you're crying and comfort you? Have you ever had them freak out when they feel you're getting angry? They feel things too, and they can feel your stress, and it makes them sad to know that their master is not happy. So I hope no matter what your background is, this is not about religion. It is about your mind, your health, your happiness, and I want us to just kind of take a moment for yourself and do this for yourself so that you can get through these things that we're going through. I have stress, believe it or not. I get angry, believe it or not. But I also surround myself with those that can help you remain calm and help you through your problems or whatever the case is. So I'm hoping that this is going to be helpful for you. Oh, time. I don't know. To answer that question perfectly well, I like to sit in quiet. Yes, there's going to be natural noises that occur. There's going to be and things like that. I don't even use meditation music. I'm liking it here in this, what we're doing now, because it helps me talk through. But in meditation, you want something that won't be of a focal point of distraction. So if Megadeth is going to be sitting there having you singing the lyrics and tapping your foot, I probably refrain against it. But if Megadeth is going to help you sit, then by all means. But yeah, actually, that's a very good thing to bring up. If you're listening to music and paying attention, is it still meditation? And now, if talking about meditation, not particularly, because what you're then doing is not paying attention to your breathing and your position. And so if you're sitting there listening to music and paying attention to the music and you're like, oh, she's a great singer, and no, you're not focusing on that. You're taking away from, am I sitting right? Am I breathing right? But if the music is like this and there's no lyrics and you're just kind of like flowing with it, okay, that's it is, you're still you're still in meditation and stuff. But a lot of things are meditation. Like when I was doing the dolly cake, and I was talking about how cooking, I meditate through it, because you're not thinking about anything else. You're just focusing on the task at hand, and you're going to do it well, and you're going to be happy while you're cooking. That's a meditation, but it's not the meditation when you're sitting there doing that. So I hope that answers that question. Oh, God's food sounds good. I'm gonna have to do that here soon too. I'm good. I'm glad you're listening to that, because again, you can be doing that while you're even making dinner. I think that's why I like cooking, because I'm creating, I'm putting myself into what I'm making, and it's just me and the food. Pink Floyd is excellent for meditation. Well, it depends on which Pink Floyd song, yeah. And again, remember, I'm not telling you what is right or what is wrong. I want you to be comfortable, and I want you to at least do it and try it. And quietly observing. And the Nathan Bowden Show, hey, how's it going? I was looking for you today, oddly enough that you popped up. So thanks for popping by. Thanks for being here. My, the time is flowing. That's why I thought I'd chop up these lessons, because that way if you missed it and I come back next week, it won't be so much to catch up on. PDY, thank you for stopping by. You're very welcome. I'm hoping this helps. Absolutely. Yes. They are so good at that. As you can tell, I haven't been bothered by mine because this is not his scheduled bother mom time. Yeah, you don't want to be scared during your meditation. Lord of the Rings soundtrack is very excellent. Yes, I have to say that. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry you don't feel very well, Time. Get better. And make sure you don't ignore anything and take care of yourself. Isn't it funny? That's actually very, very valid. It's way too difficult to remember to breathe. You think it would be, but it doesn't happen that way, does it? You do have to remind yourself to breathe. And when you start getting deeper into meditation and you're doing it for a long period of time, sometimes I have to remind myself to actually breathe, because now at this point in time, I can calm myself so still that my heart rate is incredibly slow. It is so low, and my breathing is almost nothing, because I can go that far into it. After a while, my body's like, excuse me. Yep. I'm like, oh. So, but yeah, you have to remember to breathe. Anyway, the time has flown by so fast. And I hope that this has helped at least the start of it. Belly breathe, and that has helped, yes. And physically putting your hand on your stomach and just don't breathe any particular way. Just breathe. Just breathe normally and feel your stomach coming in and out. That's paying attention to your breathing. Not, I'm breathing in, right? Just breathe normally. Put your hand on your belly and feel it moving. That's paying attention to your breathing. Okay, so I hope you guys had fun here on this slow down kind of thing. And I enjoy it, and I love doing this. And yeah, I think so too. I'm going to do it. Hoping my knee finally heals up. It's been a long time, almost a year. But I'm getting there without surgery. And yeah, that's why I have to wait for my knee to get better. And Pops came in. Hey. Yeah, thanks for being here. I like the lurkers. You guys are good. I mean, there's always replay anyway. So, what am I playing now? It's actually called The Price of Freedom. Believe it or not. And that's what you'll get in meditation, is freedom of your bonds and your thoughts and your stress and your headaches and all that stuff. That's what it's called. Okay. Thank you. And now let me just get to an announcement. I had put out the banner for the cakes that I wanted to do on Friday, but I haven't had any, but well, I have had a couple people talk to me about their cake. And I'm wondering if it's because people are needing more time or they just don't want to do it. Keep in mind, the only thing I'm going to do is show a picture of it. Okay? I'm not going to make you send me a sample or anything. Oh my God, I look like Oompa Loompa. It's like dark in here. I forgot to turn on my light. Sorry. I'm thinking what I'm going to do is on Friday, I'm gonna kind of go over that again and then do it for the next Friday. And the reason for that is because, like I said, I want to have more people join. I think it's going to be a nice thing. But basically, I wanted people to decorate a cake. Like I did the Dolly cake. And it was the banana flavored because Dolly on the Orville with the banana. Mm-hmm. So it can be related to it. Some people are going to decorate it Orville style cake. And I don't know what that means, but I'm excited to find out. And I do, as far as I know at the moment, have somebody, an Orville person, joining me on Friday. And I'm not going to announce it just yet. I may do beforehand, but right now it's a surprise guest from the Orville. And, oops, why did I do that? I was trying to stop so I get without doing it without my glasses. Okay. And I'm also going to have Elise, who I interviewed before. She is the designer of the game, the Orville game. She's going to be joining me on Friday as I talk with my very wonderful guest. Such a sweet individual. Can't wait. I'm excited about it. And I was kind of hoping to show this person those cakes and say, hey, look what we did. But I wanted more cakes. So get out there and do it, people. Good grief. I'm not going to taste it. I don't care if it's made of sawdust, for crying out loud. Just get it done. I'm starting to lose my voice, so I'm going to have to end. Did you guys have fun? I hope you guys, well, it wasn't like, hey, this is a great time. I just mean that I'm hoping that this was helpful for you. I really enjoy having you guys here and being able to teach this. And I need my glasses. Oh my gosh, what did I just drop? Yes, there's another string you need to watch. Thank you. Thank you. You're the sweetest. And always good to have you here. And I'm glad you got to be here because I've been inviting you to come to the Zoom ones and I haven't seen you. And I know it hasn't been easy on the time frame. So at least this way you can still join me. And good. I'm glad to hear it. Yes, I want you to send me through my DM. You can DM me on Facebook or I think I'm on IG too, Instagram. Gosh, what else do I have? And my Twitter, of course, or email me. And my email is right there. You can email them to me there, t.tally2@gmail. You can DM me with pictures. If you want to include a video, by all means, that'd be awesome. If you don't, that's okay too. But nice, some pictures of your cake would be awesome. I'm hoping that we would have enough in here so that we can have possibly the Orville person select their favorite one, so that I can maybe perhaps provide a nice little consolation gift for that. Thank you so much, Dr. O. I'm hoping it did help. And I did. Deej was messing with me for snorting earlier, so you missed that one. But the cake too. Yeah, I made the Dolly cake. Dolly is now, Duncan Hines is now sponsored Dolly. part, and she has, I think, two or three flavors out: a strawberry, a coconut, and a banana. And I thought it would have been perfect right after the episode where she was on with Havina. I thought, well, how perfect to do that. A nice dolly cake. So I made the actual dolly cake, the banana, and it was so good. Holy moly, was it good. And so I wanted to have everybody decorate a cake, Orville style, or the actual dolly cake. The actual, yeah, let me see if I can pull it up, because I think cake mix. So hang on a second. There are different kinds. So I'm going to just share this whole thing here with you, because this is the search that came up. If you actually search for the Dolly Parton cake, you get the whole thing. So it actually, see, you can even actually, I think this is like $40, and you get the whole box with all the flavors and everything in it. But yeah, they actually have the dolly cake, and she makes it. She has a video of her making it. And there's, yeah, coconut, banana. Oh no, I thought there was strawberry, but maybe that's on something else she's doing. But there's the coconut and the banana kind. And here's the coconut. Oh my God, it looks so good. And the banana one right there. Hers looks much prettier than mine. Anyway, so yeah, they actually have the dolly cake, and you can get the kit. Apparently, I've had some say that they that there it is. Yeah, there's the. Oh God, it was so good. Southern style. I've had some people say that they couldn't find it on the in the greater New York area for some reason. In that side, they had a hard time getting it. But you can order it from Amazon if you need to. So you can make a dolly cake and see what your cake looks like after it's done. Decorate it, or just decorate an Orville style cake. Something that says Orville, shaped like an Orville, looks like Orville, something that represents the Orville. So, let me see. I'm trying to catch up with the chat here. You are, Time? Wow. Well, maybe you ought to do it now. Okay. Well, guys, you know what? I was like, I'm not going to go an hour. Oh, an hour and 15 minutes. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this. I really like doing this. Friday's going to be a blast. We're going to go back to the regular scheduled one. Jerry, thank you so much for being in here. And I'm hoping if you just kind of popped in, like Crimson Mist, thank you for being here as well. For those of you who just popped in, catch the replay. I'll be back next Tuesday with another going forward with that. And I'm going to try to incorporate some other talk with it, maybe to help you through some things. So, nice. We can send cakes, gift prize. That'd be nice. Get a cake in the mail. My birthday's next month. Just kidding. Oh, you guys are great. If I missed you, my apologies. I'm hoping that my wrench has actually caught you for me to make sure that you are all acknowledged, because I appreciate every one of you guys for being here. So thank you. We will see you next time. We will see you Friday and we're going all, or we'll catch the season, the last episode, and of the season, and hashtag away. I will see you guys next time. Have a great evening. Thank you for joining me.